Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Whitney Renee.
And this is Omari.
And I'm actually very, very excited. We do have a special guest. One of the things the topic for the day is going to be dating as a single millennial. And we're going to go over different scenarios. A lot of questions are going to be asked. And this is actually, the guest on our show today is actually a listener. She's been listening here with us. So what not a better way to actually bring someone in that actually follows us. So we're very appreciative of that. So everyone, welcome. Her name is Aquiala. Say hi, Aquiala.
Hey, everybody.
So we're going to start off by, Omari, I'm asking you a question. This question's for you. We're talking about dating. Now, me and you have been married for 6 years.
Yeah, not 5.
6 years. And we've been together for almost 8 years. So what do you feel like is different? How would you describe the dating scene 7 years ago, in your opinion?
Well, I guess it's kind of hard because I'm not dating, but if I were to take it back to then, I would have to say that, for our story, you found me. Yeah, right.
I found you, Miss New Booty. Mr. New Booty.
We met when I was almost at my low. The lowest I had ever been in a really long time. So you got to see the real raw me. I wasn't well taken care of. I had my hair done every so often because back then I had dreads, but I wasn't well taken care of. I obviously showered and did the normal hygiene stuff. Hey, you'll be surprised. Some people don't even do that. But
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah. I didn't have a car. I was divorced. I had 2 kids. I was paying child support. I rode my bike a very dangerous way to work. Sometimes I walked. I had a roommate in a house that we didn't pay rent for because we were squatting. So, but it was just one of those things. I was very vulnerable and open to a lot.
So I guess one of the things, so what I mean by dating, I know our situation is very, very unique, but I guess the biggest thing for me would be when I was dating. So that was your experience.
When we first met, yes.
But take me out of the picture. So before you met me.
Before I met you, that's where I was at.
You wasn't really, was you dating?
I wasn't dating anybody.
Okay.
I wasn't, not at that time, no.
So for me, I dated multiple people. I dated multiple people, but it wasn't anything sexually. It was more so I literally had a person that I went to the movies with, a person I went out to eat with, a person that I would, just sit there and talk about stuff that we shared common interest in. And I did that because I felt like back then I feel like it was easier to find somebody and kind of have a connection with them a little bit, but it not being taken so seriously. My opinion. That was my opinion. So we're talking about, I'm 31 now, almost 32. So we're talking about from the time I was 18 to about 24 when I met you. All of my dating experiences were kind of this person seems cool, but that's just about it, So Aquiala, I'm going to bring it over to you.
Okay.
What are some of the things that you have experienced?
Well, I've definitely had long-term, regular, serious relationships. But in the sense of dating, since we're on that topic, it's definitely inconsistent. I think it's just a lot of people don't really truly know what it is that they want, and or they just have really low expectations. And I feel like, just being honest, when you have low expectations, I think you're not willing to put in the effort to actually not so much impress someone or try to, put on a facade of being more than what they are. But surprisingly, I get the response a lot of like, oh wow, I can't believe you're single.
Really?
Yeah. And I just asked like, what would qualify me to make you feel like I shouldn't be single? Looks definitely doesn't determine a long-term relationship.
No, not at all.
Consistency, things like that. So I think it's just a lot of my experience has been inconsistent. I've had good, I've had bad as far as dating, and just I just think it's a lack of communication, but that's definitely with the times of communication being so
everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
So everywhere. Like, so have you been on dating sites? Have you met people like out and about? Like,
I definitely will say I probably 80% of my interaction with people are through dating sites. Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, the typical. I've done speed dating actually.
How was it?
Look, we had an idea that we were gonna go speed dating together, but we're not together, just to see how like the experience was. So
yeah, how was that experience?
I thought it would be cool because obviously a lot of people don't randomly interact with people in public. Like, I want the like fairy tale, like we're at the grocery store and we reach for the same orange and approach. Like, we just have this instant connection. That's not gonna happen. But so I'm like, the next best thing is speed dating. So I found that Black people are not open to speed dating because it was predominantly other cultures like Asian and Indian and Caucasian. So I was literally the only Black person at the speed date, male and female.
Oh,
really?
Yes.
Okay.
But I had great like reviews and responses at the end of it because I don't want to say it's a race thing, but I definitely felt like if you go to an event like that, you're open to like communicating and talking to people.
I think so, because you're sharing,
right?
Yeah,
and you have such a small amount of time to be like, "Hi, my name is Aquiala Murray." Tell me about yourself. Okay, next.
How long is the time?
It was 10 minutes.
Okay.
Total?
Yes, but it depends on how many people. So there's not like a cap, because obviously they want to make a profit, because you don't really spend a lot to go to these events. But I think it was 15 rounds, so 10 minutes is pretty.
That's
to like
everything.
Get it all together again, like, hello, my name is good. Hello, it's good. I just wanted to like give them a card, like,
read this real quick.
Yeah, this is a summary of my life.
Wow.
Likes, dislikes.
Right. So it was really fun. I'm a people person, so I can literally talk to anybody. I just wanted to like have fun, and like, even if it was a thing of like, I can't determine if this man is gonna be like the love of my life in 10 minutes and like we are getting married and everybody.
Right.
But it was fun. I liked it. I would do it again, but I wish there was more of a variety
of different people. So more of our African American people. Well, I would still want to do a speed date.
I would do it. It was fun.
I would still want to do it just to see what the different, like some of the responses and stuff. So I have a really quick story, like I was telling you. I went on this date with this guy. This was, I think I may have been maybe 22, 23. We go on this date. He was so pumped about this date, y'all. Like, super pumped. First off, I knew we weren't going to work out. Now, here's the thing. He was a lawyer. It wasn't, you could tell he was very educated. See, I told you about this story. You could tell he was very educated, but it was something about him that I could not connect with. The very first thing that was a turn off for me was our first date was at a movie theater. And I feel like that's not a good choice for a first date. Y'all, the movie that he picked out was the fucking Three Stooges, like the remake of Three Stooges. So my face looked just like yours. Like, are you
Why?
kidding me? Like, for real? So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So he's sitting in there. Now, mind you, I'm sitting here, I'm in complete shock. Like, I can't believe I'm with a person that thinks this movie is funny. It wasn't funny. It was a waste of time. I felt like we couldn't talk to get to know each other because the lights are out, movie's going. It tells you at the credits, be quiet. Off rip, be quiet. So there's no point of us going on this date. So I already felt out of place, which he was Caucasian, not that it matters or anything, but I found that in the dating scene, especially back then, it was totally different dating outside of my race versus dating inside my race. I just felt like there was some things I couldn't relate to, like little corny jokes that he thought was funny. The whole movie theater was laughing. Now I'm looking around like, white people, this is for real. Like, this is not funny. So it didn't blend with me. So I got up and was like, this isn't going to work for me. I was like, this isn't going to work for me. I got up. I said, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some popcorn. I left because you made no effort. You picked a movie that was not interesting to me, and we had no interaction. And I think he like called or text or something, and I was like, yeah, I had an emergency. But it was just so weird that you really felt that was a good, you know what I mean? Like, that was a good first date. Like, that was a first choice date for you, which I found weird versus like our first interactions. Like, you were very like, okay, I know I have to go to work.
But we about to go get
something to eat real quick. Like, that's how our first, not unofficial date.
It wasn't a date, but
it was like unofficial, like getting to know each other. It was like we went out
unintentional.
Yeah, we went to, what was it, D-Dubs. They got some wings. I was cool with that. We had plenty of time to talk. So, I mean, I get it. I mean, I think the speed dating and stuff would have been really, 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 really fun. But it was weird. I didn't like it.
It's interesting because I actually tend to find in dating, I have more Caucasian males approach me than African American.
Me too. That was me.
So, yeah. And I've been told it's because I speak proper. Which those are things that
I don't get.
That I'm like, should I be offended or should I be appreciative because I don't sound like whatever you think the typical Black woman sounds
both.
Like? Right.
Me now, I say both.
But I have been out on one date with a white male as well, and I felt exactly the same.
Really?
I felt like there was just something that off. We couldn't connect on, and unfortunately, I felt like he had to put on a persona of like, I got. I'm flying.
I'm like, you ain't gotta do all that.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's not necessary.
I have white friends. I have Black friends. I have.
Right, I have white friends.
It's not like I'm
friends.
like, yo, you got. No, I didn't approach him like that. So it's unfortunate because, like I said, I do have white friends, and I mean, for years we grew up together. Mm-hmm. Their parents love me. Like, I have nothing against, white people or anything like that. They're some of my best friends, but as far as dating wise, it's just something, especially in times like this, where like
it's hard.
It's hard because they're just so disconnected to like issues that we deal with, and it's like, you don't understand things you say affect me in certain ways, and if you can never put yourself in my shoes. That's just reality.
Didn't I say that? Remember when I said that? I said that. Because see, that was one of the things that Amari asked me, like, what type of guys, were you attracted to or just came your way? And I said, surprisingly, white men and Black guys that look like you. I've never, ever been approached by darker complected men, ever. And the white men, it was kind of like, oh, I have this pretty Black girl. I hated that.
You're so pretty for a Black girl.
See, it's not just me. I get that.
Really?
Yes, you're so pretty for a Black girl.
You're pretty for a Black girl. You have pretty teeth for a Black girl.
I'm not making this up. This is the thing. My
hair is natural as well, and when I have my hair, oh my gosh, your natural hair is so pretty.
Mm-hmm. That's a thing. But see, that's good that it's good knowing that somebody else has experienced that, because these are things that I've expressed to him. He's like, there's no, really? And I'm like, yeah. It's almost a thing where it's like, what do you mean I'm pretty to be a dark girl? that's one thing that I always hated growing up. Well, you're pretty to be dark skinned. Okay, well, you ugly to be light skinned or white. What? It's weird to me that people think that. So I never wanted to date anyone that felt like they had to put that disclaimer out there to even get to know me.
Like that
as a whole.
that validates me to approach you and be like, hey mom, this is my pretty black girl with pretty teeth and she speaks proper. Like, okay, then she's fine.
Right. Okay, yeah, you can bring her home to mom's. Yeah, it's weird.
Wow.
So we're actually going to take a really, really quick break. And then I wanted to ask the both of you kind of like what were some, because see, my turn-ons and turn-offs, I bet it's probably completely different from you guys.
I know they're different from me.
So we're going to take a quick little break and we're going to discuss some turn-ons, turn-offs, some interesting dating stories, what is a deal breaker, different things. So you guys stick around.
All right, welcome back. This is Omari. We got Whitney and Aquiala here. We're going to let Whitney kick it off with a couple questions and see where we go. This should be juicy.
Juicy. So, can you tell us or tell everyone, how were some of your first dates?
I will start off by saying I feel like I have higher standards than others as far as like getting to the point of actually meeting you physically in person. I definitely like to have conversation up until we feel comfortable. We're on the same page. We're moving in the same direction, hopefully. And then obviously creating that connection to actually want to meet up in person. So I'm definitely not one to just hurry up and speed and like, okay, we matched on Tinder, we chatted a couple times, now we're going to meet up. So it's definitely a process for me to get there to meet up with people, but I feel like when you meet them in person versus what they say or said in the conversations leading up to that, that's the make or break. And the first date that comes in mind that I will say is definitely unforgettable and like will go down in the history of first dates for Aquiala Murray. This particular gentleman was from Dayton.
Ooh. They different.
We won't go there. That's another podcast.
Because they're different.
That's definitely another podcast. So this is the first one though from Dayton. Unfortunately, I had 3 strikes and Dayton's out. But the first one, it was cool. We could actually talk for a long time on the phone and had great conversation. And he decided that he was willing to come to Columbus, and I was like, cool. Just know you will be going back home to Dayton after the date. Just so we're clear, there will be no, hey, I'm too drunk, or hey, my car broke down, or none of that.
Right, no weird excuses.
Yeah, everything was fine. Unfortunately, we went on a mead tasting. I don't know if you know.
What's that?
Mead, isn't that it's like a liquor almost.
It's like a hybrid. It's not as strong as liquor, but it's stronger than wine.
Yeah. Oh, so it's like in between.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's a bigger, nice, built, bigger gentleman. So I'm like, oh, he can handle his liquor. He's fine.
Okay.
I don't think he understood the definition of a tasting. You sip and taste. But he was like chugging. And I'm just like, okay, you need to slow down a little bit. You know, we're enjoying our time. We're adults. We're just sipping and trying the different flavors. But he got very intoxicated. And then, so I'm like, okay, it's still early. So let's get you some water. Let's get you some food so we can still like kind of save the date and still get to know each other. Because you came all the way this way. And so we need to make sure you make it all the way back.
Right.
And when we went to go get food, he proceeded to get more alcohol and get more drunk. So at this point, he's yelling and talking crazy to like servers and things like that. So I'm like, okay, well, it's getting later and that's kind of when my like responsible, adult grown up brain kicks in. I'm like, okay, water, we're getting water. So we're downtown Columbus. We go to another restaurant, and I'm just like, okay, just drink water. At this point, I'm pretty much getting groped.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
To the point where I'm just like,
you're uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable because it's like, I don't really know how this will go. Will he get angry or belligerent if I like kind of reject him?
Mm-hmm.
And then if that's the case, again, he's not in his typical city. So it's like, I can't be like, oh my gosh, somebody help me.
Right.
But people were looking like, do you need help? Or like, they're
like, give us the sign.
Yeah.
Like.
And I'm just like, I don't know. And so I proceeded to walk him to his car because I'm like, all right, you got enough water in. Like, this is getting uncomfortable. And then he refused to leave.
What?
Which I'm like, I'm leaving, whether you leave or not.
Whatever you do from here on out is on
right.
you.
But again, I don't want nothing to happen to him. So I'm just like, can you please get it together, and things like that. So it was just a really uncomfortable date. He got belligerent drunk where he was yelling out servers and things like that. And
wow.
Thankfully, he finally got in his car after standing out there for 2 hours.
What?
Yes. And and he made it home. And I was like, at this point,
I was done. You was done.
Yeah.
So like, was there like a follow-up conversation through the app? Because you met him on the dating site, right? So was there like any follow-up?
Plenty of fish, which I highly do not recommend. It is garbage.
I think you got catfished.
I got catfished on there, yeah.
I get accused of being a catfish a lot, which I don't understand because I actually would meet someone in person. But
really?
Yes. Like cursed out, like FUB, that's why you're a catfish. If I like don't respond to them, because if they say hi and I'm not interested, I'm not going to say hi, hello, and start a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But they're like, that's why you're a catfish. And I'm like, okay.
Even if I was a catfish, like, so?
Like, it's not like I gave you my cash app. Like, all right, well, please donate some money if you're going to like accuse me.
Right.
But I've decided moving forward, a lot of my first dates were bad because alcohol was involved, and that's
what I was going to ask. Like, was it something that maybe triggered something? Because I think that
alcohol triggers something in them.
It does. And I think that when you go on a date with the intent to really know someone, you don't need to go out and have a drink. Like, just I
wouldn't say that. I would say you can have a drink to relax and open up. Right. After that one, maybe 2 drinks, you got to cut it off. Because at that point, after that one drink, both parties should really realize, like, all right, this is
a bit much.
Yeah, I can't take it to the extreme.
We're taking shots.
Right, let's party. Woo!
I'm gonna see if he can hang.
Right? Yeah, no, that's
that's too soon for that. Like,
that's way too soon,
sir.
You shouldn't be doing that when you're dating. Period.
What? Doing what?
Taking a whole bunch of shots and drinking a whole bunch of drinks and stuff like just.
But you know what though? But see, I feel like if you do that after a couple dates, that's one thing, because now I get to, as we're easing into the relationship part, I want to see how you are drunk.
Yeah, that is true. I
got to see how you are drunk, because you know me, I'm not a babysitter. How many times have you got drunk? Do I babysit you?
You remember when Dustin and them were here?
I'd be like, that's on you. You got drunk. You think I'm playing?
And that's my wife.
I'm like, you did that to yourself. Yeah. Like, you're a big boy. Put your big boy boxers on and get it together, because my thing is this: if we're out together, the intent when you're dating, you should feel comfortable with the person that you're with. We should be out together, and I shouldn't have to worry about, I can't have a good time because he's gonna be drunk, he's gonna be tore up, and this person's gonna try to hit on me, or I don't want to have to go through all that. Yeah. So I'm just not gonna put myself in a position. I don't babysit my husband. I don't babysit friends, relatives.
She don't even babysit her damn kids.
Yes, I do. No, you can't babysit your kids.
Oh, my bad. You don't even parent your kids.
You know what I mean. I'm not going to do all that, especially like with dates. So the next thing would be, what are some deal breakers? Like for me, a deal breaker for me off rip, when I was dating back in the day, And I think now, so here's what my thought process. If me and you were not married, Amari, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then my deal breakers was shit like this. What your teeth look like? Swear to God.
Facts.
Oh, that's one of yours?
Yes.
Okay. What your teeth look
Wow.
like? Seriously, if you had dirty fingernails, that was a big thing for me. And how you were like face-to-face conversation. So if back in the day, if I dated you and you were into your phone or you was doing something that it made it obvious that you were distracted, I'd be like, this is a snooze fest.
That's another hate story I've had. And I literally did the same thing you did when we spoke earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I literally walked out because I'm like, you won't know this anyway because whatever's on your phone
is more important.
Yeah.
So that was
I'm out.
Yeah, that was a deal breaker for me back in the day. Now, if I wasn't married and I was back in the dating scene, I would feel like you being on social media all the time, phone in your hand all the time, always have to make it known. Like if you're over the top, like when I mean over the top, I mean just like over the top, that would be a deal breaker for me, especially phone. I can deal with if you fall on hard times or you're currently not working right now, but what are you doing to better yourself? If that's something that we can handle moving forward, I can deal with you not having a car. I can deal with you. Maybe we can't go on as many dates because you have kids to take care of, because you're showing me the type of person that you are. And that was a thing back in the day that I looked at in dating, which was you is, you know what? Yeah. How are you with your kids? Because in the event, if we're serious, I need to know you're going to be able to take care of these kids because I'm not the only one that had them. So those were some of my deal breakers and some of my automatic, not doing it. What were some of yours?
I honestly didn't have any because women weren't interested in me like that.
He did say that. He said people weren't interested in him.
So
especially black women.
Yeah. Black women were never interested in me at all.
My face, your face is how I was looking like, what? Really?
Yeah.
I think I'll let you finish, but this goes to my deal breakers because that's part of it as well.
I don't know. It was like, because when I was dating, I think this is the problem why nobody was really interested in me, because I don't want to be, you know me, I'm a real simple person. If I got clothes on my back, shoes on my feet, I got a place to live, I don't care what I look like. I don't care what I smell like. Well, shouldn't say that.
No, he meant that.
I always smell good.
Yeah,
I always smell good.
Yeah.
But if, like when I was working, I used to landscape back when I was like 17, 18. I stunk all the time. I smelled like, mulch. I smelled like cut grass, sweat. Yeah, exactly. And at that time, I remember walking, we went to McDonald's for lunch one day. And I walked in there and these two Mexican ladies were sitting behind the register. And, they started talking to me in Spanish. Back then, I looked more Puerto Rican than I do black. So, I responded and they asked me, how old I was and, if I was working or just out, doing whatever. That was like the only time that somebody showed interest in me. And I was like, I had a conversation with them at the time, but it was like, I'm not really interested. I'm not looking, I was at work. I was doing my own thing. After that time, landscaping, whatever work I was doing, even if I went and played volleyball and I was leaving like, oh, hey, how you doing? Why are you talking to me?
Really?
Yes, that was a real thing. So at that point, I was just like, you know what? I don't care. I got a roof over my head. I don't have a car, but I can get around if I have to. I take care of my kids. I work. What do I care what I look like? So when I met Whitney, I was like, oh, well, this is different. She's actually showing interest. Like I look
me,
right. I was working third shift at the time. I had my dress, but my dress was all. They was real fuzzy.
No, they were decent.
Yeah, the long parts were, but the new growth and stuff that was in there, and then my face wasn't shaved.
Yeah, but that was a perception that's why I said until I met you, I had a perception over dreads that anybody that had dreads that they stunk, but his dreads never stunk. Like his dreads were they were very well kept. They were together. It looked Very, very nice and simple. So you're basically what you're saying is people wasn't into you. Basically.
They weren't into me at all.
All right.
Which is
I actually now, and I'm sure you experienced, I see a lot of women get approached and they act like that. And I'm just like, so you would rather a man approach you on social media versus in person?
In person,
because to me that means like he is really interested. Because he could have been like, I'm about to search her real quick and find her Instagram and add her. Like, no, you walked up to me. I could be married. I could be a lesbian. I could be anything. You don't even know. You're taking that risk to be like, I'm gonna meet this person.
Yeah.
And so many women are just like, thank God, I can't believe he's approaching me.
When I get approached like that, in my mind, I'm like, I got the juice still. Like, you know how many times, like, especially back in our younger days, I feel like I'm saying younger days, like we super old. I mean, you are old.
Shut up.
But like when we first started dating, like when we was like the first like year or two after we got married, and like we're over there at the UDF by our old place, and the guy came up to me and was like, "Excuse me, ma'am, are you married?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Your husband is one lucky guy. You're beautiful." That is the nicest thing to say. He didn't keep trying to pursue. He just said what he had to say and kept it moving. Like, you know what I mean? And I was just thinking, like, you know, people, you're right. I've seen people like,
And I've been approached pumping gas. I'm sitting there pumping gas, making sure I get my little, you know, fuel or whatever. And I said, "Excuse me, you got a boyfriend?" I'm like, "Who, me? Just pumping my gas, minding my business." I'm like, "I do. I don't, but I do." But
not interested, but thank you, right?
Yeah. Let me get on that pump and put some gallons in my tank. We can talk. But yeah, I get what you're saying, and it just makes me, I don't know how I feel about that. It makes me, as a woman, it's embarrassing because I'm just like, why would you treat someone like that? When they're approaching respectful ways, like you said, they're not like, "Hey, baby, let me slide through."
Hey, yo, mom.
Hey, yo, little mom. Like, no. And they're just so rude, and I'm just like, people are so quick to judge, or you know, how dare he even try to breathe the same air that I'm like, you're not above anything.
Your stuff still stinks.
Right. It smells like shit. Pretty much.
So then, what? I guess what's a good what's the turnoffs for you then? Is it? I mean, obviously you gotta have pretty teeth.
This is my thing about teeth, and I call this the typical. And I apologize for any Columbus male out there who does this, but this is just my perception. The typical Columbus male on social media or dating has a wad of money.
Yep. Oh my goodness. Grills.
Sitting on a Dodge something.
I know what you're talking
and got the newest J's, whole outfit, you know, everything matching. Got the little price tags still on the clothes and all that, but got some fucked up teeth. That don't add up to me.
I think it's an Ohio thing. We've determined that. No, seriously, that
they got their waves showing. You know, got the picture.
Doing too much.
But they got fucked up teeth, and I'm like, your priorities are messed up. Because I've paid for crowns and stuff, and I'm like, it ain't cheap.
It ain't right. Cheap.
Give me some of that cash, them stacks on stacks on stacks, and let me pay for the rest of my dental work and yours, and we can be good. That doesn't make sense to me. That irritates me.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now, and I think this is the problem with. I hate the term millennial, like
because we're a part of we're technically millennials.
We're technically millennials, but the problem, like, the day and age now is everything has to be about social media.
That's what.
Which I absolutely hate. Okay, I'm on Facebook. I'm on, Instagram and Snapchat.
But you're on Snapchat because
I'm only on Snapchat because my family's on Snapchat. I rarely post anything.
And he don't know how to post stuff correctly.
I don't know how to post stuff correctly. That says a lot.
Don't feel bad because I done called people on Messenger and I'm like, what's going on?
I don't know what I'm doing, yeah.
And they're like, ma'am, you called me. I don't know who you are. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what I'm doing because they upgrade stuff too much and I can't keep up.
They do,
yeah,
100%.
And I think the problem is, and I think this is what the issue with dating now is, it's more about the perception that you have when you really don't.
That's true. I agree.
You're putting a fake life on the internet, but you're essentially a catfish.
Everybody, yeah.
Because, like, if I see a man on a dating app located in Columbus, he has a legit job, like an account manager or IT. I'm like, you're not from here. No, I moved here from. I'm like, of course, you're not from born and raised.
Right.
Anybody else, they're like, I'm a CEO, self-employed, baller, shot
It's
caller.
too much.
And I'm like,
you're not, sir. You're a drug dealer. You're a drug dealer.
Like, I went to the University of the Hard Knocks, and I'm like,
no, that's
not a thing. Yeah, like that's 90s. Like let's leave that behind.
I do agree with you on that, and I will say that I am one. I haven't really dated that many men that are actually from Columbus. And I think that's why I've had better luck. I have a lot of friends that are dating guys that are born and raised here. I love my city 100%, but there's something about it takes you to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. And I refuse to be in a relationship where it could be a couple years down the line, I found out you with one of my really close friends. Then what? Now I got to have that. I don't want to have to go through that. So I've always refused to date anybody that was born and raised here. So people ask me, well, how did you and Amari meet? You guys are doing so good. He's not from Ohio at all. It's really, really weird to your point with people will put, their whole life on social media. I don't agree with that per se. For me, I like being acknowledged, not on a level where I'm like, oh, look at us, hell, half the time I barely post stuff. I don't know I think you follow me on like Instagram, but I've had people like, are you still married? Because I don't post a lot of stuff about Omari. I might tag him here and there, so it probably looks more like a friendship. I moved in to Missouri. I have people that still think I live in Missouri. I've been back in Ohio for what now, like 7 years, and people are like, how is it in Missouri? And I'm like, ma'am, I've been back here for like 5 years. So I think to your point, I mean, it's been...
You went from 7 to 5. So
okay,
I think it's more like 6.
Okay, so I was just giving an estimate. But you're right, people do. They look at, oh, I got to post this on social media. But I think it's a thing where people just want to feel like they're important, I think. I'm guilty of it.
They want validation because they're not getting it in their daily life.
In daily life. But I think that when it comes to dating, I always encourage people, whenever you're dating, don't post your relationship on Facebook at all. Not until you know that you're completely serious, because you look stupid.
This is the love of my life. I cannot wait to spend the rest of my life with this. My king, my prince of Wakanda. You're just going on, and then it's like...
Next week, it's like, yeah, men ain't shit.
Or
women ain't shit, blah, blah, blah.
Isn't this homegirl's husband on Tinder? Or
See what I mean?
I've had that.
Yeah.
One of my friends was engaged. She didn't post a lot. And I'm swiping. I'm like, I'm a person I recognize. I'll know your face before I know your name.
You look familiar.
I'm like, I cannot swipe. I know who this is. And I'm like, I know who it is. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I sent it to her because I'm like, you know what? I don't know what's going on, but I would hope somebody would send that to me because I would be darned. I don't want to cuss. I would be darned.
Damned.
Yes. If my fiance or somebody was all up on dating and I'm just like sitting here like, we're so happy, we're in love.
Psych.
And she was like, yeah, we're not together. And I was like, oh, I just wanted to make sure because I seen him and I didn't want you to think I'm messaging him or trying to do anything crazy. And she's like, I appreciate that. So I'm like, yeah, it's,
Jesus.
I don't understand. I do understand the validation thing on social media because I definitely am guilty of it, but the relationship status, that's...
People know I'm married, but that's it. Like when I post stuff on Instagram,
like about like our
marriage and stuff, like
anniversary.
I've had, so most of the women that are on my Instagram, I have known since I was a kid. Like, we went to elementary school together. So, like, I communicate with them every so often. You know, they might post a story. Oh, hey, you know, you look great. You know, I hope everything is good. Hope the kids are good, and this, that, and the other. But the same women like, you know, all the pictures and stuff that I have with her. Mm-hmm. Not when I'm with myself or with my kids, when I'm with her. And that kind of, I don't know, I don't think I have a complex about that. It's like, well, that's kind of weird. Like, are you happy that, you know, two black people are together? Or are you just happy for me that I'm with a black woman? Or are you just happy for me because I'm married? I don't know. But for me, they're all single. So that kind of puts me in situations like, well, I've known them my entire life. I want to reach out to them. Like, what's going on with you? Like, why aren't you, you know, you're beautiful. You're doing this. You got a job. You're doing this. You're educated. Why are you single?
Because a lot of men are intimidated.
Yeah, probably. I was gonna say it could be a thing where men are intimidated, or what I've also seen is women shooting men down for not being their perfect guy. Like,
high expectations, unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, like, you know, in order for me to marry this
5'6"
6'3",
his hair gray gotta be
4A.
Can be gray.
Yeah, right. Like, no, seriously, that's the thing. Or I can't date this guy because of X, Y, and Z. But it's like, well, why? You never know what somebody is going through or what they went through and why they're single themselves. So you're just being judgy at that point. What they
have to offer.
That too, what they have to offer.
That's why I was so happy. Like, when we started talking, I was like, oh my God, are you serious? This woman is like really interested. Like, I was so happy that I met you and I talked to you and I had a great interaction with you. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is like, I take it back. So there was one other black woman that was interested. There was just one. We're not going to talk about that because that was
okay.
That was back in my days, and I wasn't. We
won't talk about our days.
That's that was a whole. That's a whole other podcast. But
yeah,
when Whitney saw me and showed somewhat interest in like how our interaction was, like when we went out for dinner, I was ecstatic. I was telling our mutual friend at the time, like, hey, give her my number. Tell her to call me. I want to chat. Blah, 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 blah. I was so happy. Like, I was trying to do everything in my power to get in touch with this woman. Then lo and behold, oh, don't come over to my house and watch a movie unless you bring in your roommate.
Oh, yeah, I said that.
To our mutual friend.
Like, I was like, you hang out, but you gotta bring your roommate.
Because he was after her friend. And clearly she was after me.
I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be my boyfriend. I think you just know though too. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever been in a situation?
Here's something I learned as a youngin'. You get what you ask for.
Really?
Whether it's good or bad. So in this situation, in this question, yes, I do know that feeling. And I can't say it's always been good, but I got it. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, speaking of good, what's been a good date and why did it not go anywhere?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Sorry, you guys. That was our Google because you said okay, and then you started.
A good date. So. I was definitely younger, so I was kind of the same, like, you know, I don't want someone to come to my house or no, because they're like, I want to come pick you up and like greet you at your door and take you there. I'm like, I don't want you to know where I live. But I'm like, you know what, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my long-term boyfriends, our first date, he came and picked me up, was dressed. I was underdressed. He was like suit, like, I'm like, should I go back in and change? He's like, no, it's smelling good. I'm like, woo. I love me as man that smells good. So I'm like, and it ain't no cheap cologne.
Right.
Not Axe or,
right.
You know. So I'm like, oh, this is so nice. I've never had someone just like meet me here. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So went out, opened the door. let me get in, shut the door. It's like, it's unfortunate because like things like that, you're like, oh, this is so weird. But now as you get older, you're like,
I deserve
I know
that.
he ain't walking in front of me.
Yeah.
Don't he see me back here?
Ma'am, it's 2020.
Excuse me, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what stopped that way of thinking? You know?
When I can tell you, when women, and I'm not being too judgy, but
I'm gonna eat my chip.
Yeah, you eat your chip. I noticed that women on social media started being more, oh, I'm independent. I got this. I don't need no man. Da 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 da. And that started, and that's why I say, okay, if women want to start acting like that, they want to be, and I don't want to make this sound bad.
Hold on, before we go, we're gonna take a quick break.
Okay, quick break.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. Okay, we'll be back, you guys. All right, everyone. Thank you for sticking around. I know we've been having some pretty interesting insights here. So, Amara, I'm going to let you finish what you had to say in regards to why you think men started steering away from that traditional
chivalry.
Yeah.
Yeah, chivalry is definitely dead. It's 2020.
Chivalry's dead. 2020, COVID-19. Everything is dead.
My clothing line is coming out.
Right. No, like I was saying before, like I think a lot of it had to do with women just really jumping on the bandwagon of, I don't need a man. I can do this by myself. I don't need support from daddy and blah, blah. But I get where that comes from. All these years, women have been having all these troubles with men, trying to find a stable job, keep a stable job, support the family, let's get us insurance, that white picket fence and the dog in the yard and this, that, and the other, and they haven't been able to get that. So their first mindset was, shit, I've been doing this by myself for so long, don't no man want me. Men ain't shit.
I get that.
But at the same token, I can understand, especially in the workplace, women get paid, 70 cents on the dollar or 60 cents on the dollar of a white male. So, yeah, you get this push for, I don't want to say feminism, but the push for women to be stronger, to support themselves, to be able to maintain themselves, I get it. I understand. But at the same time, two women can't have kids.
I get that, but I
in
guess
2020 they can.
Yeah,
and that adds to your point. We don't need a man.
That is very true. That is very true.
I think for me, it's I refuse, especially like before we met. I wasn't about to be a product of struggle love at all. Period. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of Black women deal with that personally.
What is your definition of struggle love?
Struggle love is when they feel like they got to go be dragged down through the dirt, mistreated, for only to be years, many, 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 many years later. Oh, we've been through all of this. We're getting married, but why? Like, why is that your why? Like, why do you don't have to do that? You don't have to go through some of the things that you're choosing to. Like, if you know a guy is not spending time with you, that y'all both know that y'all have come to the conclusion, and you're still with him 4 years later. Why? In my opinion, you like that. You like being the afterthought. There's no, or you feel like you're not worthy enough. And I feel like Black women feel like that. Well, I don't have this going on for me, or I may not have that job that may put me in the back burner for other women that may have this. I never looked at it like that. I looked at it more of a sense, well, you cheat on me, we're done. You told me, let me tell you something. I had a guy that told me that if I cut my hair before you,
I remember.
If I cut my hair, that would make me less attractive. Swear to God, that would make me less attractive, and he would break up with me. You know what I did? I went and cut my hair. You don't like me and you don't love me like you say you do for you to even make that statement, and we're never going to be together based off of that thinking. My thing is this: people are human. You're never going to, as you get older, you're not going to look the same. And he thinks I'm shallow. He thinks I'm but I will give you that extra push. Hey, you need to push away from the table a little bit, dog. Because I'm not trying to be funny, but you have to be that other person's support. So I'm not going to I'm not going to sit up there and put up with stuff and we're not together. Like you're saying, I don't look good with short hair. Bet I do. And I'm going to rock the shit out of it. That was me. So you damn right. You going to open up my door. You going to pay this bill and I'm going to pay your bill too. Right. How many times have we went out on?
Let me tell you,
when
this
we
is
first
one
started
of
dating, she had to have a conversation with my dad because it was weird to him that I was okay with paying the bill. I've always learned I don't need you. Meaning I used to not know you. So anything that I was doing before I met you, I'm going to continue that. That's a part of me. If I'm paying for your meals because I genuinely want to pay for your meal and vice versa, I don't expect for you to do it. There's plenty of times I've been like, hey, I got it. It's cool. The meal is on me. I want to take my fat ass here to eat anyway. So this meal is on me. It's not a big deal. But yes, you can open up my door. Yes, if you want to do this, if that's what you, I think for me, it's not a thing of, well, you're a man, you should do this. Because there's going to be in some way, some aspect that a woman may be better than a man doing. And there's hands down, there's things that's a woman's task that he does better than me.
Yeah. That typically like that 1940s, 50s, 60s mindset that a woman needs to be in the kitchen or folding laundry and cleaning up. Let me tell you something. I hate when Whitney folds the laundry. She can't fold for shit.
I will wash all day. I will
dry all day. I will put it on a hanger, but she does not. Whitney does not fold.
It's not even that she doesn't fold. It's that I don't allow her to fold. Cleaning the kitchen, loading the dishwasher, absolutely not.
I cook you a mean meal.
She'll cook, dirty up all the dishes. Get the fuck out of the kitchen when it's time to clean.
So, crazy side story, kind of relating to this. I had an ex who was in that mindset. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to work and all that. I've never not worked, so that wasn't going to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a beautiful day one day, and I'm like, let's go fishing. I don't think he knew. I know how to fish, like real fish. Mm-hmm. So he's like, oh, I'm a man, we fish.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
So we went to the store, got some bait, got some fishing poles. We're all ready. And it's a lot of people out fishing, a lot of men, obviously not women. Yeah. So I'm out there, I'm high, I'm catching. And he's genuinely getting upset, like pissed.
That angry. You're doing better than him.
Because some of the guys were coming over like, dang, what kind of bait are you using? What are you doing? You are like, and I'm just like, fishing is all about patience. You just gotta be patient. Y'all bobbing and weave, just leave the pole
leave
down.
The lure down in there, yeah. Let it do its thing.
And then he left.
What? He left you?
He left me. And so I'm like, oh no, he tripping. Like maybe he's sick. I don't know.
What?
So he said, you made me feel less of a man.
See,
because you didn't fish right?
Because he...
Well, not you, but because he didn't fish right?
Right.
Man,
And that was obviously progression of other issues.
Yeah.
Because of him wanting to feel...
manly.
Like he was manly. Like,
I don't give a shit.
And I'm the same way. If I invite you to go to eat somewhere, I'm paying.
Eat.
Eat. Right.
Now, obviously, if we're going, I would take you to a buffet in a heartbeat. Like, you got this. Do what you want.
Yeah.
B-dubs, buy one, get one. It's all you.
Yeah.
Get what you want. But, I've had responses like, oh, you just made me feel like I couldn't pay for it.
What do you mean?
That's so weird.
I don't understand that. I don't know. I'd be the first one. Oh, you gonna pay? Shit,
yeah,
go ahead.
But now
I will.
But honestly, be 100% real. When I was paying for stuff,
it felt weird at first.
Yeah, he didn't know. He was like, I just feel he felt the same way. Like
it wasn't that I felt the same way that it made me less of a man, but it just made me feel weird that the woman that I was interested in, that I was seeing, was offering to pay, and it made me feel like, oh, if I say yes,
it's just a test.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Oh, you ain't gone.
Right. Yeah, but after you did a couple times, I was like, shit, this ain't going nowhere. You offering to pay? I'm putting my wallet away.
You offer to pay, put the wallet away.
Yep.
That's a new saying in 2020. So we got our new clothing line out.
Chivalry is dead.
Chivalry's dead all 2020.
Coming out July 2020. Yes.
So, Aquiala, what, as you in the dating scene now, what makes you personally, well, one, what makes you personally thrive in a relationship? And out of your recent relationship, why didn't it work? Like, what are some of the reasons? Like, what are some of the things that it just didn't? So let's start with what makes you thrive in a relationship.
You know, they say opposites attract, but in my case, I don't think that's the case per se. Only because I'm so outgoing and like.
Are you a Leo? You're a Leo.
I am.
When's your birthday again?
August 1st.
See what I mean? That's a Leo thing. No.
You need a Virgo.
Oh no, that's who that was my ex.
That's
me. Your astrology is not a disqualification, so don't worry.
It is for me. Swear to God, it is. It is for me. Astrology. Sir, I'm not dating no Taurus. Not doing it.
Yeah.
Not dating no Scorpio. And I'm not dating no damn Aquarius or no fucking Gemini. Not doing it.
I've never dated another Leo, and I'm afraid for...
Nope, don't do it either.
I know.
Don't do it. They're into themselves. They're very... No, it's over the top.
I have my good days.
Okay, it's over the top.
I have my bad days, too.
Y'all can't even go on a date together because y'all both worried about who looks the best. Hell no. I will never date another Leo again.
See, she's been there. So.
I've been there. I'm not doing it. But sorry, not to cut you off. So what was...
Leo gang. Okay. We're going to come up on this. So I would say, like I was starting to say, I feel like I like a person who's outgoing as well because like I said, I've gone to bars by myself and people are like,
too.
What are you doing in here by yourself? Are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I done talk to hobos in the bar. I done talk to
I danced with a hobo on the street, remember?
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, she
That's
did.
a Leo
Yes.
thing, girl.
Oh my God. I have it on video.
We bomb.
I was up to show it to you.
So, I done met some amazing people. I make up stories at the bar. I'll be like, I'm from...
I do too. I swear to God, I do too.
Just because I'm bored.
It's interesting. You'd be surprised. People come up to you and they start talking to you like, you're so awesome. Like we ran into the girl at the bar that graduated by herself.
Oh, yeah. You said
Yeah.
and she was out at the bar
She was
by
out
herself.
at the bar by herself. And she came and started talking to us. And I was we was video chatting with, I'm not making this up.
Oh, the people that's supposed to meet her out at the bar
Never showed up.
Yeah.
That's messed
I
up.
wasn't there, but...
So, okay. So
Okay.
outgoing.
Can hold a conversation. I literally can talk about anything. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so
Oh, Jesus.
I can talk about organ harvesting all the way to Illuminati, all the way to like everything.
So we know what the disqualifiers for men are.
Organs.
That.
Do you still got
Right.
I'm trying to make a little.
Oh no, this
extra
bitch is crazy. She's talking about conspiracy theories and
money.
shit.
That's why I gotta kind of like gauge him because I'm like I don't want to scare him away.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, what else? What is some...
I like them to smell good.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. We're talking about what guys? I'm talking about.
We're talking about...
I mean, it's yeah.
But just hold a conversation. I can literally talk about anything. Hold a conversation. Willing to try new things as far as foods, experiences. I have many friends of different cultures.
But this is like my soul
That's you,
system. This
yeah.
is like, I feel like I'm like you a younger me. And you ain't even that much younger than me.
No, I'm not.
But I feel like this is the same stuff
That's
that
literally...
But
Same
like
thing.
I've traveled to different countries. I've been to Mexico. I done ate crickets and all kind of alligator. And
How are... total segue. How are crickets?
amazing.
Really?
They taste like sunflower seeds.
No
Really?
way.
I done ate a whole bag to myself.
You ate a whole bag of crickets?
Yes.
Ma'am.
Deep fried.
Because
Oh,
they have...
okay.
They're seasoned just like sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
You get them different flavors like ranch and.
Because there's like a cricket thing that's... They have
at-
like a festival for crickets, yeah. And they
It's a
cook
place
them up differently.
right there on Georgesville.
Oh my
That I
gosh.
always go to. They sell them there.
Oh, the little the taco truck?
Yes.
The Mr. Grill Taco?
Mhm.
They sell them there?
Mhm.
Oh, we're gonna have to get some then, because that's our favorite taco stand.
And then
That's what they put in our meat.
shoot, I'll be spreading the vibes over it. Like, this is so good. But just open-minded to try new things. Like, I've never been presented an opportunity to try something new and be like, I just don't really, that's just not something. I just want to do it just to say, you know what? I ate some alligator and that shit was delicious.
I bet it was.
I ate possum. I
haven't had possum.
I got some redneck friends in the country. And
really?
it was like, it was grilling. I was like, dang, that smells good.
What's that? Try it first.
I'm like, my hot dog just with a little burnt on it.
It was good.
It was delicious. And I'm like, if I die, it's okay. At least I tried something new. Because, I'm like, possums and all that, raccoons. I'm like, why do y'all eat that? But meat is meat. After you grill it,
grill it, season
Sorry,
it.
guys.
Put it in a hot dog bun, girl. You good to go?
Good.
No, that's a no for
but
me.
There's certain things that she won't try,
Yeah.
but she'll try a lot of different ethnic food.
Oh yeah, definitely. For sure.
But you got some alligator. I'll try that.
So, what was the biggest things that just didn't work out in your last relationship? I know you said he was a Virgo. Wait, when was his birthday?
August, like right on the brim, like the later part of August. I've erased it out of my mind. I don't remember. Like August 27th or 28th.
Okay, because there is different phases of Virgos,
Right?
And of each zodiac sign, so it really depends on like where you. Because I find that August, and that's the thing, I find that August Virgos are different than September Virgos, depending on when their birthday is. So that's why I asked that.
So it's not per se a deal breaker because realistically, most men do have children, and I don't have any children. But kind of like you were saying, it's all the case of what the situation is as far as with the child's mother and things like that. If a man that I'm interested in does have children, I prefer them be in their child's life again. Being raised as a single parent household, that's something that's very important to me. These men that post pictures of themselves with their children and their profiles on dating apps, but then they're not in their child's lives, that
really?
Yes.
That's a thing?
Yes. But anyway, so a thing that got or put us in a bad situation was, unfortunately, my significant other at the time got laid off of work unexpectedly and was a full-time father. And obviously didn't have a lot of people to depend on to help him with his children. So that obviously put him in a sticky situation as a parent, single father, 2 kids. That's a lot. So I think that was just too much as far as like, I just don't have it in me to put energy towards a relationship right now. I need to figure out what my next step is. And then also I feel like it kind of put a damper on his manhood, his father, like all of that, because he's just like, I can't provide. He felt like he couldn't provide. And it was bigger than what I could ever reassure him. Like everything's going to be okay. And like you said.
How long were you guys together?
5 months.
That's a little too soon. Because I was thinking, like, how did that make... So it was essentially on his end that he broke off because of everything that he was going through? Or was it... Okay.
Well, I broke it off only because there was just a continuous lack of communication. But I think it was because he was just mentally not...
He didn't know what to do.
Yeah. And I'm just like, well, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting frustrated and irritated. Because in the midst of us being together, I also got laid off. But I approached this situation different. And it's a little different. Obviously, I don't have kids. So it's not like, oh my gosh, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with my kids and this and that. It was just like, it's just me. So I got to figure out, my next step. But I just felt like mentally he just was checked out. Like it was too much. It's too much for me to be in this relationship. It's too much for me to... It was too much for him.
His focus was his kids over the relationship.
Right. And I'm just like, well, let me help you not have to make the decision. And I'm going to just go ahead and remove myself, because at this point I'm getting upset because I'm literally genuinely worried about you and trying to help you and figure out. But like you said, we're too early in this where I can't be like, I'm going to give you money.
I'm going to give you money. And it's, that's exactly where I was going.
No, I can't. Yeah. I've jumped very early in relationships and did that, moved in within months, and
it was a disaster.
Yeah, absolutely. Moved to another city, relocated, and came back within 2 weeks.
Really?
Yes. But so that was not going to be a thing. So I'm just like, I didn't even meet his kids yet, because I just have a thing of, unless we are really serious, I don't want to meet your children if you're not.
Yeah. It's really bad to build up that bond, and then the next time
they're not.
They're gone.
They didn't have the best situation with their mother. Their mother had a older child who had like behavioral issues. So I didn't want to come into their lives like, oh, she's our new mom.
Right.
And then, like you said, then that relationship is cut. And it's like, oh, all the women in their lives. Because that stuff follows.
Yeah, that stuff does follow. Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's.
Dang, you've been through, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree, because
you didn't meet my kids for the big kids for, what is it?
It was like 6 to 7 months.
Yeah.
Which isn't too.
It's not too bad, but that's when I knew you were staying around.
But then there was times where you would have them on your weekend, and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna head out. Like I wasn't there. I mean, I still had my own place, so it wasn't anything. But to your point, it is a lot to ask when you're in the beginning stages of dating to just be full-fledged. Oh, I'm stepmommy mode. Like, I don't agree with that, because society tells you as you being a step parent, and that's just a hard situation, because I was you. I didn't have any kids. He had the kids. So it was a whole new, I had to adjust to weekends where maybe I wanted to do things, but the kids were going to be there. And
it was many. I mean, obviously there was some distance with him living in Dayton. Not only that, being a police officer, they have terrible schedules because you can't like regulate crime. Like, we're only going to have 5 robberies today instead of 20. So it's like, that was a whole nother obstacle within itself. But then there were many times when we had plans and bought tickets to like shows and concerts or little, events, and it got canceled because, one of his sons got sick, or school. It was still in the early stages of them relocating here from Indiana. So he was in the school process to get him in, and there's just so much. And I'm just like, I took this on,
Right. And I'm going to stick through it.
Stick it out.
But I don't want, because of their age and them being so young, I just put myself in their shoes, and I'm like, I don't want to be around them right now in the sense of like them getting attached.
Right.
Because I don't have kids, but kids love. Isn't that how it goes?
How did he feel about that?
He was fine, because he was obviously very protective over his kids.
Right.
And like, I just feel like with him not being in a relationship for so long, and like this was the first time that I was single 3 years before that.
Why is 3 like the lucky number?
That was me.
Lucky.
All right.
Well,
starting over. So we're starting back on you.
It was lucky for me, but not her.
Yeah.
I was single
maybe
for exactly
4. We're gonna have an update.
Yeah.
Update.
Have you have you talked to him since?
No. So I'm a Leo. And I'm very.
You firm and you direct.
Once it's done, it's done.
Yep.
Yes, and I go through stages where I'm like sympathetic. Okay, I'm getting a little fed up.
Okay, Whitney.
And now that's it.
Yeah.
And I got to the oh, I'm here for you. I'm sorry.
What can I do? Right.
Yeah. Well, all of that.
Just
okay.
Repeat,
next phase.
Repeat.
Hey, what's going on? Like, do you need something? What's up? I'm about to drive by. Like, do you need help with I don't want to say with the kids because they were still in school, but like,
do you need help?
You need laundry?
Right.
Then I still got very limited communication. And then I'm just like,
okay, yeah, I'm done.
Basically, I was just like, I've done all I could. I've called, I text. Don't contact me anymore because obviously there's nothing I can do to help you.
Right.
And I'm going to make it easier for both of us and just go ahead and remove myself.
All right, I'm out. You had a SpongeBob.
And he replied and said, "Oh, I love you. I need you." It's
too late. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've wasted. I don't want to say. I've never say I wasted time. Because obviously I used it to hopefully not end up in the same situation. But I'm like, I've given all I could give, and it wasn't enough.
It's time for me to move on.
It wasn't met.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So we're going to take a quick little break and then we're going to wrap things up.
5 hours later.
It's not 5 hours later.
Even if it was 10.
It was good. Yeah.
So we're going to take a really, really brief break. And then I just kind of want to close things out, giving Aquiala time to ask Omari questions as far as maybe things that you've said, things that you've done. And he's no expert, but I kind of feel like with you give an honest answer, but something that most men don't really think about. So I want to be able to give you an opportunity to ask him questions or ask me questions in regards to like how we were dating, things that we've experienced to kind of help you. Because what I'm finding is a lot of my friends too are having the same issues. It's like they're dating these people, it's not working out. Then they get into this period or this state of mind. Well, I'll just stay with this person because, I mean, that's the person that wants me. But that's what I mean by too. You don't have to be like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, if you're having a long distance relationship, there's ways to filter all of that out. Like I dated and was talking to a guy that was a referee before I met him. Very nice guy. He lived all the way up in Cleveland. Made the effort, but I learned Cleveland men, no. Stay away, stay clear, run.
Noted.
Don't do it. Don't do it. But he was very nice. He was about the only guy that I dated from Cleveland that was very nice. But what we didn't connect on was I just felt that in the dating phase, he was trying to move too soon. And that was a red flag for me. It's like, what is your hidden agenda? Why do you want to do? What's your motive? But the average person doesn't think that way. So we're going to wrap it up real quick or take a brief moment to just kind of take a little break, and we will be back.
All right, we're back. This is Omari. We're gonna let Aquiala ask me a couple questions so she can get a guy's perspective on some things that she's curious about.
So my first question would be, how, as a man who is not so much courting, because I feel like you have to get to the part of getting to know someone where you're like actually interested in moving on to the next phase, I guess. I know this doesn't pertain to every male, but you personally, how do you know, like, I'm ready to move on? What changes do you make from the beginning stages to getting to the next phase?
That's like a double-sided coin. So in my personal experience with Whitney, the one thing that I knew why I wanted to continue with her is because she didn't put up with my shit. And I say the same thing to anybody that asks, well, like, how do you feel? How did you know? You ever seen the movie Avatar? Yes. Okay, you remember when Jake went to try and get his little flying bird thing and it tried to kill him?
Yeah.
That was Whitney. The bird thing was Whitney. Not that you tried to kill me, but
love hurts.
Yeah, love hurts. But she was the one that was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you acting like this? What, you need to be doing this and da 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 da. It wasn't her being mean. It wasn't her being standoffish or being an angry black woman or anything like that. Right. it was her legit looking out for my well-being. It was her like, so my ex-wife, my baby's mom, she gets on my fucking nerves. Like, I would cuss her out in front of Whitney and this, and she's like, okay, you need to stop. You need to stop doing that because this is what's happening when you do that. Mm-hmm. She's giving me guidance, and that that meant a lot to me. And it was one of those things like, damn, we're not even like together, and she's giving me these like tips, and you know, she's really looking out for me and what I have to provide to my kids. That's number one. Number two, you have to have somebody that's willing to push you like that. If you don't have that, why are you with them? In our relationship, when I first met Whitney, she was working with the mentally ill. Now she's working at the gas company. I've challenged her to try new jobs. If she didn't like the job, just go back to what you were doing. You know that well. You're naturally someone that cares for people. You want to help people as best you can. In return, she does that same thing. Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You're good with this. Go do that. Start your own business and do that. Like constantly putting ideas. Not to say that, oh, well, I have this really smart Jeff Bezos mini man and I want him to make as much money as possible to benefit me. It's legit.
Instead of his happiness.
Mm-hmm. That's all it is. Well, you'd be a lot happier instead of working for somebody, but working for yourself, doing what you like to do. Right. That you can find that early in a relationship, but you have to have the right circumstances to do so. I was divorced. I had 2 kids. I met her. She was really, like we said earlier, she didn't meet the kids for months after we met, but she heard my stories about my interactions with their mom, how I was with them. And she really like, all right, well, look, I don't have kids, but I have an older sister that has kids. Do this, do that, try this, try that, try that. And you try these things and you're really sitting there and you're like, wow, she's smart.
Just makes sense.
This man, I'm so angry. I don't even see these things.
Right.
So it's like, it opened my eye. And at that point, I was like, after a year of us being together, I was like, you know what? This is the woman that I want to be with. She's always going to have my back. She's always going to push me. I may not like her approach. I may not like her delivery, but she's telling the truth. That's what I need. I need that truth in order to better myself, to better my kids, to better our relationship.
So do you think other men think that way too?
No, absolutely not.
Y'all twins. Absolutely
not. And I 100%. I mean, I've got friends right now that are going through some shit because they don't listen. Because they want to do what men want to do. They tell me, oh, Doc.
Ooh, y'all not gonna like him.
No.
He's speaking facts.
I'm speaking facts. Like my friend.
Facts. So hashtag facts, chivalry's there.
There you go.
What was the other one?
The clothing line.
The clothing line and COVID-19 is
COVID-19, and if she offered to open her wallet, then I said something
door or something. Yeah, we got a lot going on.
But I got friends going through the stuff right now that they're with people that they know are cheating on them. They're not doing anything. I got another friend who's going through issues with his marriage because who knows what they're doing.
Just stubborn.
They're just stubborn. They're both just stubborn. Like, how old are you?
I'm 29.
You're 29.
Whoop, whoop. Last year.
Oh shit.
Y'all about to join the 30 club.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm hoping it's better than the 20s. I learned a lot though.
Yeah. I think it is better.
It's a lot better, especially when you get to your late 30s like myself. Anyway, but you've had the chance to understand who you are
Yes.
and what you want.
Amen.
I think the problem with men is that they don't do that until later. Which is why women date older men.
I agree, because I do.
Really? Do you prefer
38,
older men?
39.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I connect.
They've been through it.
On a whole nother level. They're like, how old are you? I'm like,
they've been through it.
mm-hmm.
My situation is different. I was married. I was married at 23, 22, 23. I had my first child at 23. I had my second child at 25. I was divorced by 26.
In that order.
In that order. In that order.
Hashtag in that order.
You know,
Hashtag in that order.
I was essentially.
If y'all ever come out with a podcast line for clothing,
all these different shirts. So, like, I've basically been homeless with 2 kids. My ex-wife did some shady stuff that overdrew our bank account that I had to I've been through stuff. So before I was 30, I was like, you know what? I know this.
It can't get any worse.
It can't get any worse.
I'm ready for any and everything. But
Exactly.
It can only go up from here.
It can only go up from here. And, I think that a lot of men, especially in today's age, they really need to be able to experience these things before they hit 30, not after. Now, I got these new J's. I'm about to get this car.
It's not nothing realistic.
It's nothing realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that's what makes better boyfriends, though, and husbands, when you have a little bit more
damage to you, honestly, is what I
Really?
think.
Battle scars.
Yes, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, when you have battle scars, you're more. I guess you're more hardened to the hard times in your relationship.
And also the little things aren't so big.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree with that.
You want me to open your door? Pfft, I got that. All right, that's fine. Oh, you want me to
I
pay
can't
this
see you for a week because I got to work overtime.
Bet.
Do your thing. Get that money.
Right.
Get that money.
Get that money.
Hashtag get that money.
And everybody else will be like, oh, he's avoiding me. You can't.
Yeah, you can.
If you need money, get the money. It ain't, I'll see you when I see you. But get that money.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've worked 2 full-time jobs before. And I'm like, and I've had situations where I was trying to pursue relationships and they're like, oh, you're too busy for me.
I got bills to pay.
Why would you not respect that? Yeah,
Mhm.
It's all me. I don't have anyone financially to fall back on. Definitely not you.
Mhm.
Right.
Because then I'll be a gold digger.
Mhm.
Right.
So
There's always that stigma for the woman and the guy. Like, well, she works this job, but she's always asking me for money or something like that. Or I'm always paying for dinner and this, that. Oh, she must be out for something.
So, with that being said, what advice would you give her? I want to give her advice, but what advice would you give her as her being, well, shit, now you ain't gonna know who to decipher. Everybody got on fucking masks because of the COVID-19.
show me the real you.
Just show me the teeth. You gonna take that mask. They gonna take that mask off. You're gonna be like, what the fiddle?
Yeah.
What is going on? But what is some advice that you could give to her from a male's point as far as dating in the now?
I'll say this as if this whole face mask thing wasn't going on. If a guy is if a guy is genuinely homeless, but you can see that he's got a good heart, his mind is in the right place, he's got this, I guess, fire to him, give him at least a sliver of a chance. Talk to him. She talked to me, and look where we are 8 years later. The one that we did a podcast where it was, are you a God-fearing woman? Okay. We did a podcast where I made a statement, or we talked about religion, and I made a statement. I said, don't count out the man that's not God-fearing, because I'm not a God-fearing person whatsoever.
You might be that person to change it.
That might be the person that changes your life. You never know. Maybe the person that doesn't believe in God is the person that God put in your life to change your life.
Yeah, that's true.
You never know. I'm not a God-fearing person whatsoever, but
Honestly,
I always.
though, most men aren't.
Most men aren't,
Yeah.
there are some that are like, Jesus. I'm not gonna.
I've been on dates with over 50. Anyway, we'll get.
Yeah, that's another podcast.
Hashtag another podcast.
Yeah. In the blood of Jesus.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Don't count out those men, because you never know. Me and her, she might not be like going to church every Sunday, but I encourage her. Are you gonna go to church today? Every once in a while, you go to church today? Oh, okay. You don't have to go. Her mom goes to church. Mommy, how was church? Did you get the word? How do you feel about church? Because it's encouraging. You don't have to be someone that believes to encourage somebody that does believe. You don't have to be encouraging to somebody that wants to do something that you don't think that they can do.
And I think so many people are so hard to stop. Like, you don't believe in what I believe in? No.
That's it.
You don't do what I do? No. And it's like.
But I can tell you personally, I know several women that are, well, they don't believe this and da-da-da-da-da, then I'm not going to date them. And they're still single today.
That is not me.
That's not you. That's not you. I'm talking about some of the women in my own family.
We just met today. So.
Dude, I got 4 women in my family right now. I asked my cousin. She's younger. She's in what? How old is? I'm about to be 36. How old is? She's probably maybe like 31, 32. Maybe. I don't even think she's that old. When you gonna get married? Oh, I ain't got time for no man. What do you mean you ain't got time for? You don't want no kids?
I ain't got time for no man. Hashtag.
It's just one of the. It's give the person that's least likely to be on your list a chance, because that'll probably be the person that changes your life forever.
That's a good way. So.
I know I rambled on for a little bit, but
that was really
it makes
good.
sense. Think about it. It makes sense.
I would say dating, my favorite thing to say, start off in the beginning what you can put up with in the end. And I say that because you can't go in a relationship, because see, everybody has these
relationship goals,
that and they have a thing where
unrealistic relationship goals.
Yep. And then they get into there's phases of dating. There's the honeymoon phase, there's the oh shit phase, then there's this we doing good phase, then we need to things are moved. There's several different phases, but start off in the beginning what you can put up with in the end. So if you know that you're dating a guy with kids and that's something that you want to take that on and own it. You rock the shit out of it, because he'd be first one to tell you. I'd be like this. Them ain't my kids. You got 2 kids.
But
love them to death.
But on the other hand, you will be the same one. Like with my daughter, there's things
I will go to bat for.
Mother
I will go to bat for. But you have to be realistic about things that you're okay with, especially because you're single, you don't have any kids. So if that's the type of guy that is sparks of interest and y'all are liking each other, be very upfront in the beginning. I don't mind you having kids, or I do, whatever the case may be, but these are my expectations, because if not, you'll regret it. You'll have been and got with somebody that had kids, and then you figure out later down the line, this is not what I want. Also, if you know that your spouse is not let's say a communicative person, don't get mad 2 years down the line, he's still not communicating, because you knew that when you got with him. You can kind of help and mold that. One of the things that we struggled with was, I am not an affectionate person, meaning that it's very rare. Yeah, like I'll kiss and stuff like that in public, but I am not one to be all up underneath you. But he seeks that. Like, we go to the love languages. One of his love languages is personal touch. And I think yours was like quality of time or something. But whereas mine's is words of affirmation and acts of service. Like, for me, it means more than me to say, girl, your butt looking good in them jeans today. Are you looking put together? Than you rubbing and touching on me. That's weird.
Buying flowers or anything like that.
That's weird. And I like acts of service. It's a complete turn on for me if you wake your ass up and you do these dishes. Like, I don't have to do it. Like, that's bomb. You know what I mean? So I can't be mad if, he can't be mad at me if I'm still not giving him the affection, because I've been upfront in the beginning. So I would say be completely upfront, and also know that dating is like, if something doesn't work out, it's not the end all be all. Even though you're in your 30s and you're still single, you don't have kids, that's okay. Because I find that a lot of women struggle with that too, and they're like,
oh, definitely. I won't lie, I had a midlife crisis.
midlife what?
Where like it was like, oh my gosh, I'm don't have kids.
Yeah.
And then I prefer to date older men, and they typically already have children. They're like, I'm done. And I'm like,
that's a deal. If you want that, right.
Okay. Well, I can skip about 10 years of raising a child and help raise your teenager, or I can never have a child if I decide to be in a relationship with you. So I would say I've definitely gotten over the, oh my gosh, I'm getting old, my clock is ticking. Yeah, obviously, if it's meant, God will bless you with a child. Obviously, we've seen many women at different ages have children.
Fucking, what's her name? Janet Jackson at 50-something years old.
I know, and I worked with a lady, her last kid she was like 54.
Hell no.
And she was still working. She was saying that she takes her kid to the water park. I'm like, what? I said, how old is your? Oh, she's 4. What? So anything is possible, but definitely don't. And I say that because I feel like when you do that and you're dating and you're in that phase, you knock yourself out of, one, still getting to know yourself, 2, being, I don't know what it is. It's almost like men are attracted to that. She in her 30s, she ain't got no kids.
Oh,
like,
I've gotten 50-50. I've gotten what's wrong with you. Like, something's gotta be wrong with you. Why are you single? Why aren't you married? Why ain't you got no kids? Something's wrong with you. I'm like,
right.
And then I've gotten, oh my gosh, like, you're like a dime a dozen. How is this even possible? And I found someone like that.
But be comfortable with it, and just look at it as a positive. Like, maybe I'm this way because something betters. Because that was me. All my friends, I'm gonna tell you this. Now I have one friend that our kids can play together. One. Because all of my friends have had kids younger, or they were married, they've already been married and divorced. And I was one where that was a big thing for me. Well, I don't have any kids right now, and I'm not married. But then the moment I let go of that, all type of different guys, like, and I was like, these guys are cool, whatever. You get to filter them out. And then I met him. Who would have ever thought, if you asked me in the beginning, would I've ever dated a guy with kids? I probably would have said, especially in my younger days, no.
Oh, that was me. Younger,
absolutely
I'm like, oh,
not.
hell no.
Yeah, no.
But then, I mean, I think it's just separating the unrealistic expectations and realistic. Honestly, I would say 90% of the men will be disqualified off bat just for having kids. But again, I've learned that it's not so much per se them having children, it's the relationship that they have with the children, their children, as well as the children's mother. Because obviously that adds a whole nother element to the relationship, and it can make or break. If you have a bad relationship with their mother and the children themselves, that can it's
the world. It's bad. So that would be my advice to you as far as the dating world goes. I couldn't even imagine dating this day and age at all.
If I'm my age and still trying to date, I'm single for life.
I know that's
as a man.
Me too. I already told you. It's either
potential catfishes, possibly being abducted.
Yeah.
sold into sex slavery.
Yeah, you need
That's
to
a
be
lot
careful.
more.
You need to be, as a woman, I have a daughter.
I have my carry concealed, so I'm
All right.
Okay.
Oh, you good.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Right.
I am playing out here.
She said, I'm not playing. I will shoot you.
Yeah.
So-
I have a daughter, so I understand. Like, I want her to, grow up and have a man that's better than me, the way I did things. But you got to be careful out here, because that's a real fear for a woman.
And then also, just going for personal reasons, going through therapy. Like, I don't want to say as African Americans we joke about it, but
We do.
Mm-hmm. We do.
But
We don't take it
seeing
serious.
how generational curses happen, I was one where I'm like, oh, I will never let that happen.
Yeah.
I will never be a single parent,
Mhm.
and I won't say I won't, because I don't know
You don't
what
know.
will happen in the future.
Right.
But I didn't realize, like, having an absent father in my life and growing up in a single household with my mother being the head of house, like, I didn't realize how all of these things affected me now as an adult. And it did. And I'm like, I would never let that happen. I would never do it. It did.
It does.
It does.
Mhm.
When you said that, it was already affecting you.
Yeah. So it's just crazy, because you think about how people act or how they react, and it's like, you're reacting this way because something has happened in your past.
Underlying.
Right. So deep out here.
Well, I want to say thank you for coming on and talking with us. Very good insights. And
Yes, I've enjoyed it.
Is there anything else that you want a guy's perspective on, or?
Oh, well.
so, hashtag another podcast.
Yeah. Part 2 will be coming soon.
Part two coming soon.
Mhm.
I mean, I could definitely sit here for hours and ask you questions. Again, following what we just said, your experience is going to be different from other men's, and
What?
I'm like torn between like the experience being different from another man. Like, I think situational, yes,
or
but, like,
at
I
least
took-
the reaction.
yeah, the reaction, yeah,
Maybe because, again,
Well, it's all. This is what I learned, me being in the mental health field, especially with dating men. It has a lot to do with your psychological being. So let's take this. So one of the things I'm worried about is my nephews. You want to know why? They experienced a traumatic event very young. And when you go through that, it changes your mindset. So let's use you for an example. You lost your mom when you were 11.
11.
So naturally, I understand why he wants physical touch. He never had that, you know what I mean, all the way up into his life. So if you're a man that's always had their mom and she's always catering to you, more than likely you're gonna want a woman that caters to you. But
no matter what.
No matter what. But if you're a woman that you didn't have a dad to show you how a man is supposed to treat you, that's going to be
You don't
hard
have
for
a
you.
standard to hold a man.
Exactly. It's going to be hard for you. So I think it depends on too, whatever has happened to you as you were growing up, because it alters your way of thinking. That's why I've always been so good with kids. I always said I've had 3 sets of kids before I had my own. I had my nephews. My sister had her kids very young. After those, no, I had my younger siblings, because they're like, I'm almost 12 years apart. Had them. My parents had them when I was like 11 or 12. So I was helping take care of them. Then I had my sister's kids, and she had her first kid when she was 17. So I was an aunt, pretty young.
15.
Exactly. So those were my kids. I treated them. I've always watched them, helped them. Then I met him, and his kids became my kids. So naturally, that's all I know is, oh, I got this. I know how to do it. Play and ignore them. They're fine. But if you're not used to that, you wouldn't know how to, you know what I mean, really adapt to that. It takes a little bit of time. So I think that's why the perspectives is different.
Yeah.
So really quick, because we got a couple minutes here, something new that you've done. within like the past week or month or during this whole little shutdown?
Please don't judge me, but I've been watching YouTube videos of people solving crossword puzzles. That is not the reason. It is very relaxing because it's like I see it like you're.
Keep going.
Oh.
Wait, go ahead.
Please try it before you judge me because it's really relaxing because it's like I don't have the YouTube name right off the top of my head, but it's an older gentleman and he's just sitting there with a huge ass crossword puzzle and he's just talking and solving and it's like you're just doing it with him. Social distancing, that's what I'm gonna blame it on.
Okay. All right.
What is something really quick?
I started playing that stupid ass game
Animal Crossing.
Jesus Christ.
On Nintendo. It's very, very good. That was gonna be my thing, so
I took it from you.
Yeah. So we got the same thing. It's very interesting. Animal Crossing is extremely fun, and I'm kind of sad because I didn't get to play it today.
I got one for you.
What?
For me, at least. So you take Animal Crossing.
You got a minute?
I just lost it.
Well, nothing interesting his way. Well, again, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
And hashtag if you trying to holler at her. No, I'm joking.
Hit us up. We'll get you in touch. All right.
Yeah,
your teeth looking right. You smell good. We got you.
We got you. But yes, we do. So thank you all for tuning in. And this is the two of us. Let's talk about it.